terms, and this was a vocabulary word, like terms have the same variable and the same exponent. That's super important. So like terms have to have the same variable and the same exponent. So remember, at any point, you can pause this video. So in order for terms to be alike, the letter has to be the exact same letter. The variable has to be the same. And the variables have to have the exact same exponent. So let's practice that. Let's look at this chart right here. I have one term here, one term here. I want to look at this. This one has a fraction. Cool. It has an x and a y in this term. This one has a number 3 and an x and a y. I just want to look at them. Remember, like terms have the same variable and the same exponent. So look at this first one right here. Do these terms, the top one and the bottom one, have the exact same variables? Do they have the exact same letters? Yeah, I see an x and a y. The bottom one, I see x and y. Awesome. Now, do those variables, do those letters have the exact same exponents? Well, x, I don't see an exponent on it, and y, I don't see an exponent on it. So remember, exponents are those little numbers up at the top. The little numbers, the powers. Hopefully you remember those from like 6th grade. I think you worked with them a little bit last year in 8th grade. So remember, if there's not a power written, it's 1. So x does have a power right now, but it's 1. Okay, well, y doesn't have one written either, so it must be 1. This x doesn't have a power written, so it must be 1. And this y, no power written, must be 1. So guess what? Yes, xy, xy, exactly the same letters. Do they have exactly the same powers? Yeah, because there's no powers written, no powers written. So are these two terms like terms? Yes, they are. Okay, well, look at these terms here, the next one. So we have a 5 and a -2. Are those like terms? Do you see any variables with this 5 right here? Do you see any letters? Nope, just the number 5. Do you see any variables with this -2 here? No, no variables, no letters written next to that -2. So do they have the same variable? What do you think? Yes, they do, because they don't have a variable. So we're going to do something called combine like terms. So let me think about it. Do you know how to add 5 and -2 together? If the answer is yes, then those are like terms. There's no variables there. Neither one of those terms have variables. So yes, they have exactly the same variable, which is no variable. So those are like terms. Okay, well, let's look at this one right here. So I have a 7w. Okay, I'm not so much interested in the coefficients out front though, right? I'm looking at the variable. I see a w. Awesome. This bottom term, I see 5w squared. Okay, I see a w. Nice. Okay, so I have a w and a w. Well, wait. Remember, like terms have to have the same variable and the same exponent. So do these terms, the top one and the bottom one, have the same exact powers or exponents? Well, this one right here doesn't have a power written, so we know it must be 1. So this term has a power of 1. What about this one though? Does it have a power written? It's 2. So can those be like terms? I hope you said no. There's no way those are like terms. They can't. They do have the same variable, same letter W, like it. They don't have the same exponent though. 1 squared, and 1 does not have a power of 2. It's not written, so it has a power of 1. So they cannot be like terms. Okay, so look closely at the last one. What do y'all think? Are they like terms? Let's see. I'm seeing a Z in the top one. Okay, that's awesome. And a G. Okay, let me check the bottom. I have a Z and a G. Perfect. Love it. So I do have the same variables. Now hang on a second. Do I have the same exponents? Well, I see a 3 and I see a 3 in the bottom term. That's the same power. But wait. What's the power on this Z? Well, it's 1. What's the power on this Z? 3. That's not exactly the same. What's the power on this G? 3. What's the power on this G? 1. Oh, no way, Jose. These are not like terms. No. The power has to be on the same variable. So the variable has to have the same power in both terms. Okay? So that can get a little tricky. So the next thing we want to do now is go to our next slide. So this is where we want to stop. We want to think about how do we simplify expressions. That's the goal of our first lesson here. We want to learn how to simplify expressions. Well, guess what? It all has to do with like terms. We have to be able to recognize what's a like term. It's that whole same variable, same exponent kind of thing. Once you can pick out, okay, that's a like term with this one, you're on the road. You've got it. The next thing you need to do is simple addition and subtraction of, click here, the coefficients. Okay. Big word there. Remember, coefficients just means the number in front of the terms, the number in front of the variable. So simplifying algebraic expressions is as simple as looking at something and saying, you're a like term with this one. You have the same variable, the same power. Check, check, check. Now, I'm just going to add up the numbers in front. That's it. That's all it is, guys, okay? So here's something to remember. When you see an expression that's written out and looks kind of crazy, we have to remember that the sign in front of a number always goes with it. So there's a sign in front, it goes with a number behind it. I like to think of it as, hey, they're a couple, they're a happy couple, they get along, they're faithful to each other, they're in love. Not like you freshman people are. Y'all are always causing drama with your couple and relationships. Well, some of you don't. Most of you do, right? No, this couple, they've been together a long time. Do not break them up, all right? Don't be a homewrecker. The sign has to go with the number behind it, okay? Keep that in mind. We have some fancy dancy little steps for simplifying expressions. And if you look on the wall in my classroom, to your right, you should see it on the wall over there by the whiteboard, okay? We will refer to this. For today, I want to stop here in our notes, okay? I want to really drive this idea of like terms in. I want to kind of put it in a different way for you so that you can see it kind of in like something that makes sense in the real world. So this is the end of this video. So hopefully you have kept up and you've typed in the notes. Hopefully your journal's set up. If it isn't set up from yesterday, you need to do that right now. You are behind if it's not set up. Make sure it's set up. Make sure that you have your objectives done from yesterday, okay? Now, remember how I said we were going to link this thing here? I do want to do this before I end this video real quick. So notice this slide right here. Here's where Unit 1, Lesson 1 starts. What slide number is this? Look on the side right here. It's 4. So that means Unit 1, Lesson 1, Simplifying Expressions starts on slide 4. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to highlight this topic right here. Then you're going to go up to this little chain link symbol right here, insert link, click it. Now, look what comes up, very top. Do you want to link it to a slide in this presentation? Why, yes, we do. And you can scroll down. What slide did we say it started on? Slide 4. Hit apply. Boom. It's linked. So now, in a couple months when you're like, wait, how do you simplify expressions? What do you do? All you have to do is click here. Boom. Guess where it takes you? To that lesson. Okay. So we're going to keep linking those as we go along. All right, end of this video, you're going to hit next, and there's going to be another short video, and then you're going to try creating and simplifying your own expression.